Hello, my name is Swissbianco. In this video I will talk about burglary, a bit about my case, and also in general, as I did work with the police in Switzerland and the military police and security and all that over the years. There was already burglary and other crime that I saw and study. And it happened, of course, to me as well. You can pretty much do whatever you want with bad luck, then it happens. And for sure, in USA, as in 2009, as I was down in McDonough, Conyers, it did happen to me in USA. That was shortly after my immigration to USA with the green card. And I finally could collect what I always wanted, and therefore I did buy some used firearms and did collect them and did start reworking them and study and all that. And of course we had also Swiss Army knives and other items there at that place at that time, and the owner of the place always did tell me, yeah, you don't need to worry about burglary, that's not gonna happen because the house is relative okay and the neighborhood is good and all that. But what he did not expect is that his daughter was involved in that crime, as we saw it later. So there was always a bit of tension with that daughter at that place there, and for me, I did not concentrate on that matter too much. I did think it's a kid. I could not expect that a kid would mess up that bad, and still it did happen, so it was also a learning curve there. So in 2009, in the summer, I got burglared in USA. It did nearly kill my immigration to USA. I was so depressed and so down after this happened that I did think if I should stay home in Switzerland, but my mother encouraged me together with other people that I should give it a second try after all the hard work to even come to USA legally with the green card. And therefore, and that was correct, I needed a new start, and I did move away from that place, from that ugly place there. And that was the best thing I did so far ever do in USA, as it did help get away of problems a lot. The life up north, outside of the country, of the city and the county of Rockdale, is way nicer, and so far never I had any problems again. And that also comes a bit to the burglary in general, as the burglars come to you and it works out relative well, they get away with it, they gonna come back. Because now they know how the situation is, they know how the house looks inside the place where they got something, and sooner or later they come back to you and try it again, because they remember, oh yeah, back then. They tell each other quite likely, yeah, you remember back then, there and there, we got this and this, come on, let's go, try that one again. Maybe quite likely we have second time good luck. And in case with that house down in Conyers, McDonough area, they came back there and did do a burglary a second time over Christmas, New Year, and got even more items, TV and electronics and all that. But by then I was, of course, long gone and moved out. So only the owner of this place had the trouble again with burglary, because he simply did not protect the house well enough, and did not learn from the first time. To stay a bit in general again, Not only that they come again, those burglars, usually the police has the hardest time, because in USA we have so many burglaries to deal with. It's a shame. It's nothing short than a shame in USA that we have so many burglaries, but even in other countries we have a lot of such crime, and the general mindset of the criminal or of the people altogether is more in the direction of, yeah, it's a burglary, that happens, that is nothing, you can much avoid it and all that. And this is completely wrong. It's the population, the society itself, that needs to make sure that such things doesn't happen anymore, because you need to think about it. If somebody comes to you and noodle through your personal belongings, through everything, and they steal and they do whatever they want with it, they steal everything they can, they damage, they completely look through all the matters, and there are personal values that you, if that never happens to you, you may only recognize those values that get damaged and stolen and lost if that happens to you. That those values are really high, and those criminals that do that, they are the scum of the world. I say it again, that is absolute disgusting. And it's not about being a kid or an adult or a man or a woman or whatever. It's just the mindset itself. The population, the society needs to make sure that burglary is not accepted in any way at all in a modern, in a good, positive society. I would say the burglary is like child abuse. It's like the sexual abuse. I would also say it's such a hard crime that the people who ever had that by themselves, if they were at home or if they were not at home as the burglary happened, they will suffer the rest of the life by the memories and the rememberings of that. And I can tell you that because I still suffer from this one in USA, and I still suffer from that ones in Switzerland as well. Not in a way that it would affect me really bad, but it's still, the memory is there, and we can never forget that. Because it was a hard time, a hardest time, and we should never have had that. In a good society with good people, we should never have to deal with such a trouble. We should never have to deal with it. We should concentrate on the positive, on the good thing, and the criminals who do burglary, they should be treated like child misuse and other socially not acceptable crime, and not that we say, yeah, that happens, that is a burglary, that happens a lot, and yeah, that is how that is. And that is not correct. So this is what I say about it, and there are for sure many of you that agree because they got victim of such burglary as well, or they know people that had that. Maybe it happens to a relative from you. Then if you can talk with those people about their feeling, what they truly suffer in such moments with their burglary just done by unhuman criminals. And that is just in general. And also what happens after a burglary. The police come, of course. They unfortunately in USA did not help much at all. As I say, they say, yeah, burglary, that happens. That is a case for the insurance. So they think with paid money, which by the way, we did never get a nickel out of it. It just cost me money to deal with that matters. That's why I do this video also, to hopefully help other people that are in a similar situation. It's not about money, or it's less about money. Let's say it like that. It's less about money. First, that should never have happened. Second, all the damage should be paid by the criminals. But in most cases, the police doesn't catch them, or only a few of them, and they get probation, like in my case, or get a little bit this, a little bit that, but they move on further with their criminal activity. So that's really sad, and that is because they are in the society accepted, like yeah, that happens, you know, with all that gangster rap BS and that garbage, you know. To be a criminal, that is not worth a nickel. It's the mindset of the people. They are just not worth a nickel. If you go by other people, destroy their life or hurt their life by doing such a crime, that whatever it is, if it's a burglary, if it's a rape, if it's stealing a car or whatever it is, that is really bad. And I'm not talking about that somebody is hungry and he goes to a store and steal an apple or something like that, that he need a bit of food, you know. That is a different story. So that is also in general. And yeah, the police comes and makes the paperwork and all that. You hopefully have all the serial numbers of your items, and if possible a bit pictures ready as well. So the items are listed, that in case they come up again somewhere by a crime or by a pawn shop or whatever, that the police get informed and hopefully you get it back. So make sure you have the serial numbers, the make and model written down. If you don't have that, you never get it back. Never. Even if you can say, yeah, that's my pink, red, green, whatever, this stock fancy carving, you need the make and model and the number and the caliber and all that. Just the basic information. If you have a bit of picture, that is well too. And that only helps. And make 2 copies of that, storage it separately, so in case the information get damaged for whatever reason, you at least have a second copy to make again copies of. And then yeah, the police look for the criminal. Maybe they find them, maybe not. Maybe they find only a few of them. Like in my case, only 2 were arrested: Lauren Ann Mackey and Josh Dylan Kraft. But by then the firearms were mainly gone and distributed, let's say it that way, quite likely traded against drugs and else. And it was not only the firearms, it was a couple knives, a bit cash money and ammunition, magazines and all that. So that was already pretty much gone. And Josh Kraft, that is a interesting side note. Most of the criminals are not the smartest in the world. That is how that is by experience, and I'm sure other law enforcement can agree that if you work with the police, that you see that. He got caught by try to selling my magazines and some ammunition to the pawn shop. In that area we had a couple pawn shop, but he selected the pawn shop that was right next to the prison and next to the sheriff office there in Rockdale County, Georgia. And of course the pawn shop people there, yeah, were a bit suspicious, and for sure he got caught there. And then from the pawn shop he got straight to the sheriff and then to the prison. And he was a couple times in the prison there by Rockdale. I saw that online on the crime report. So he knew that place pretty well, like other members of his family. So that just show that we are not losing everything. Most of the time the criminals are not too smart, so they trip over the wire by themselves. So that was good luck or fortune. It's hard to say. If he would have drive a bit further and go somewhere else, maybe that would not have happened that way. But thank God it happened to us. And I see we are already by 15 minutes. We gonna do a second part of this video. That's better that way.